unnecessary prequel, and this is a good one. You're gonna like this one.
No, it's great.
It's really good. You don't have to leave.
I actually got an eye roll out of him. I was just
He's
like, oh god.
Good lord. Ocean's 11.
Ooh, would it be Ocean's 10?
I know, right?
You just keep going back.
But no, here's
you got 10 built-in prequels here.
Because, like, here's what, there's so much that you can do with Ocean's 11, and there are two things.
Until you get to Ocean Zero, where nothing happens, there's no one in it.
Danny's reading a newspaper, and he's like, one day I'll steal that.
Set up the next movie, it's like, I should steal that. I need another guy, though.
I'm gonna need some, yeah.
Maybe next time.
But, like, the thing that got me thinking... Alright, is your mouth open? Do you want some water? There you go. The thing that got me thinking about it, and then it get, like, my head rolling, just like the seashells for the Demolition Man.
Yes.
There is, I think it's, Saul, the character Saul. I get them... No, Ruben. The character Ruben, not Saul. So the character Ruben.
Oh, in the movie.
Danny and Danny and Rusty go to see Ruben to try to get financial backing for taking over Andy Garcia's hotels. Casinos.
Hotel
Casino, yeah. And Ruben is like, I just can't do it. And then he says, but, you know, come back anytime. I still owe you for that time with the guy in the place, and I'll never forget that.
We'll detail it in another prequel.
Exactly. So I'm like, I wonder what happened with that guy in the time and the place.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Ocean's 9.
Exactly. Because I think to myself, you know,
we had less guys back then.
They did 12 and 13.
Mm.
So, like, if they're doing it already this way, then they should just do it this way. Mm-hmm. But I also, but it was originally... which, and you know what my third one is, and that kind of like...
So do we digitally de-age all the actors? Because it's been about 10 years since Ocean's 11.
Yeah, they do.
Just swing with it.
It could be anything. I mean...
I've had a hard year, but it's going to get better. It's like, hey, this is a wonderful skin cream I should try. It'll make me look 10 years younger in the next movie.
Danny also starts Ocean's 11 getting out of jail. So it's like there's a million things like which was it that he was in? Yeah, but yeah. So it was that guy with the place and the time and the this, and you know he has that history with Rusty. And is there ever like I would like to see Rusty's workout regime since he's always eating. I want to know what are you doing to still look like that. But so yeah, Ocean's 10, 9, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I should steal that.
Ocean's 1 is just Danny Ocean being homeschooled or something like that, trying to steal a cookie from Michelle.
he has this whole elaborate contraption that he never leaves the table, and like he's doing his arithmetic, and somehow it's like, yeah. So that's my.
That's good.
Ocean's.
I like that. And I love the fact that you're future-proofing. The Hollywood suits are going to love that. They're like, oh my god, because there's like 10 prequels built in here. We could even do a Ocean's 0. We could go Ocean's... You could do 1.5, maybe, if you wanted to jam a few in there. Or you could work all the way back down to 1, but have it Ocean's 1, Part 1. Do something
kind of like The Hobbit.
The Hobbit,
and all the third books of every...
Harry Potter did Part 7, Part 1 and 2.
The Catching Fire, or whatever the heck that thing was.
Mockingjay was Part 1 and Part 2. I'm pretty sure 50 Shades of Grey, Part 3 will be Part 1 and Part 2 when they get around to that. Yeah. Let me make sure everything's still working, because I heard a beep.
That beep was not this beep?
That you? No, we're still going. All right.
Huh? Okay, so...
Alright, so, another prequel.
Your third. And final. Did we mention we were going to do 3?
Yes,
if you've watched any of our videos, it should be pretty
Although
obvious.
The unnecessary sequel videos we just talked about one movie per video. And we did 2 of those. Mainly because we were discussing the entire plots of what the sequel would be rather than just a general concept. But okay, so my third and final prequel idea is for Ghostbusters. Now, you might think... What would you do for a prequel? Because the first movie is a starting the business story.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's true, there might be very little ghost busting in a prequel to Ghostbusters. But when the boys are getting kicked out of Columbia University, Venkman mentions, but the kids love us. Do they? Do they? Maybe we should see how much the kids love them. I mean, we get a hint with that first scene where he's electrocuting the students to ostensibly for ESP studies when he's just hitting on the one woman. I mean, we do see that, so I actually don't think the kids love them that much. At least not.
Well, maybe the buxom blondes like him, and all the men are like...
The ladies love him. Don't know why. He is kind of a creep.
But he's charismatic.
But he's Bill Murray, so there he cut him some slack. So if you didn't go that direction, there's another scene in the movie where they're financing the firehouse and all of their equipment and stuff, and they take out a mortgage on Ray's home, and he complains that was my parents' home. I was born there. Maybe we should do a movie with Ray growing up in his parents' house to see and fully understand how and why this house is so important to him, to give that scene in an already perfect movie more impact, to really empathize with Ray's plight in mortgaging his parents' house for a third time.
Well, there's like, what if the house was like haunted and that was his?
We're getting into kind of Ghostbuster babies, because you'd have to have young Ray and young Egon.
Question mark? Was there Ghostbusters babies?
No, well, the real Ghostbusters in the later seasons added kids, but they never did a young Ghostbusters series.
Baby Egon.
Not with Baby Egon, baby Egon.
Baby Egon. That's it's the new Marvel villain.
Yeah,
Baby Egon.
Baby Egon. So you can see, how did Ray and Egon and Peter meet in school, and what wacky adventures did they get to? Was Ray's parents' house haunted? Is that how he got an interest into the supernatural in the first place? But I'm also lying, because this is not the movie I'm talking about. I'm talking about the prequel of the new Ghostbusters, the 2016 version.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a story in the new Ghostbusters, I just like talking about Ghostbusters.
This is true.
Where Erin... her backstory is that she was teased all her life with being called Ghost Girl and stuff.
Erin Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig's character, right. There's a backstory that's stated in the movie where her neighbor, the crotchety old mean woman next door that nobody would trick-or-treat at because she was just really crotchety and mean, she died. And then she haunted Erin and just stood at the foot of her bed every night for a year, and no one ever believed her. Now they flesh that out in the book, in the novel adaptation of the film.
I was like, wait, what?
Well, let me show you. Hang on, just a short moment.
This is Isaac. Isaac is my baby, and he is beautiful. You love him too, I know.
So this is the Ghostbusters, now a major motion picture novel.
Oh, Hannah.
And of course I also bought the Ghost from the Past.
Oh, my Hannah!
Which is the
book that they write in the
movie. Right.
That's fantastic.
So, actually both of these have a...
That's brilliant.
It's really funny. Both of these actually have kind of competing backstories for Aaron and Abby's characters.
Okay.
They're both basically the same, but the details differ. These were written by two different people. So it might be interesting to see Aaron, because they have encounters with ghosts, and this book describes a lot of really fun adventures they go on in high school. They go stake out a haunted house and get chased around by some journalist who's there to try and find
debunk or something.
to debunk things or learn about stuff like that. So there's a lot of really interesting and completely unnecessary places you could go for a prequel to the new Ghostbusters movie.
Hence the title, Unnecessary Prequels.
That's right.
That's
because
really funny.
Actually, I think the idea is great. Because, credit to Kristen Wiig, her delivery of that scene in Gesundheit. Are you sneezing? What is that?
Baby? I got you, sweetie. It's okay.
Her delivery of that little story of the dead lady next door just saying she died, and then she stood at the foot of my bed every night for a year. It's like, wow, that is actually kind of horrifying.
Yeah, that is true.
In the book, she vomits ectoplasm on her every night too. So, and yells at her, and
How do you explain that to your parents, though? Like, really?
I guess it evaporates by morning or something like that. It's like, oh, it's all sticky. What are you doing?
She sweats. I think you have like 18 air conditioners in her room. That's some glandular problem.
Gotta get another evaporative cooler in here. Goodness.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah.
Better.
Prequel to the new Ghostbusters.
I like
Completely
that.
unnecessary, but I'd watch it.
Well, anything with the word Ghostbusters in it. Andrew's on board and hopes that it will be good.
Yes, exactly.
There it is. So, that's good. Okay.
All right, last one.
So, last one. And this is kind of the one that started it all, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this
is the one.
We were coming up with ideas for videos, and this is the one that just started it all, which is a shame because not to build it up too much, but this is the best idea ever.
And I did come up with it like immediately.
Yeah.
It was.
And I almost didn't want to do this video because it's like I can't beat that. That's too good. So go ahead.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And why would what seeds are planted in this movie that you could draw from to make a prequel?
You're like, really? Like, because it's such a perfect movie. But if you do recall, he has been truant 9 times.
You see, the adventure in Ferris Bueller's Day Off is not the first time he's done this.
Oh no, it's not.
No, it's really he's done this before. We haven't seen that. Maybe we should. And you can get 9 movies out of that. I mean, you got a bunch of Ocean 11 movies, but yeah. Ferris Bueller's First Day Off.
There you go. What?
In 4th grade.
And that's the thing. And
actually, they were all that year or in high school?
Ooh,
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at that. It might have been 9 times that year.
I think it was that year. Yeah. Oh, but see what you brought up.
I'm going to have to really age down Matthew Broderick.
Well, first off, he doesn't age, so we already have that. But there's that. Second off, what you just said is actually quite interesting because it probably never... Like, granted, this year, you know, in the world of Ferris Bueller, he's been truant 9 times, but like what you just said, this is not... Like, this ain't Ferris's first rodeo, so you could have, like, Ferris through the ages, like a 4th grade Ferris... Like going to the state fair and eating cotton candy or whatever.
He may have,
and then like you can have like but you can do the different incarnations of like here is the grade school Ferris, here's the junior high Ferris.
Did he do this in college too?
Does he
do this at his job?
Oh, here's the sequel. He's like some like world-renowned neuroscientist or something, just because he's like, all right, I got it now. He just needed those moments of focus. But
just because he was truant 9 times prior that year doesn't mean that year is the only year he pulled that stuff. He probably had other years prior and other years subsequent. So we could have an entire damn franchise. Mm-hmm. And, maybe he could cross over with some of the other movies like Run into Cujo. Hi, Cujo!
Everything. One of them is at Amity Island. Yeah, he's the one that's like, leave the tiger shark alone!
Trust me on this one!
No, that's the thing, because he goes to Louisiana for Mardi Gras, and he's the one in the car.
He and
Sloan,
Sloan,
S-L-O-A-N.
Is that what her name is?
There might be an E at the end, who knows? Sloan, what's her last name? Sloan, they say it in the movie.
What's his other friend's name?
Cameron. Oh, baby, I had Isaac because I was so angry at you. Cameron.
And so Cameron and Sloan and Ferris, and maybe his sister too, because she's earned it, and Charlie Sheen, go on a road trip and drive into to Louisiana and drive into the ocean, and a tiger shark saves them, which goes on to protect Amity from
itself until they kill it.
From sharks until it kills it, and Cujo's there too.
What if he's the creator of the shells?
Oh, Ferris? And Ferris, because the tiger shark saves Ferris, Ferris goes on to create the 3 seashells that wipe everyone's butt and bring on a pacifistic utopia. Yes. It's all connected.
You know, I really should turn my phone on. I think the Weinsteins are calling any moment now. There you go.
So there you have it. 6 completely unnecessary prequels. But just because they're unnecessary doesn't mean they aren't fun.
That they wouldn't be awesome.
That's right. So, Andrew and Kelly, signing off. See you next time.